Welcome back to our third part of our three-part series where we grade every single superstar on the WWE roster on how likely they are to win a main event championship all the way up until WrestleMania. I'm the SportsZu, and this is the OK Not OK podcast. Alright, so in week one, we graded everyone on the men's roster for SmackDown. Last week, we graded the men's roster for Monday Night Raw. And now we grade all of the women on both Raw and SmackDown. So let's just get it started with the Raw roster. So we will kick it off with Alba Fire because we are going in alphabetical order by first name, since some people don't have first names, but Alba does, and she is going to get a D. I know she just had the tag team championships, but she's not going to get them back. I think if there will be a couple title changes along the way, they won't go back to the Unholy Union, so just a D. All right, up next we will go with Asuka. Unfortunately, she's getting a D- because she is not expected to return before the end of the year, and that just doesn't give her a lot of time to earn a championship. So who knows just how long this injury could keep her out. So we can't go higher than D-, but just because she is Asuka, she's getting up just a bump above an F. Okay, up next we will go with Becky Lynch. It's surprising enough that she's still even listed as being a member of the Raw roster since taking her leave, letting her contract expire. But this is the man, so you can't rule her out. If she wants to come back, she could be right back into the title scene before you know it. So fairly generously, I'll give her a C+ for this. Okay, up next is Dakota Kai. Unfortunately, she suffered another injury just last month in August, so she's expected to be out 8 to 10 weeks with a torn meniscus. Can't give her much of a grade at that point. Yeah, she could come back and could win a tag championship, but right now it certainly looks like other Damage Control members are going for that instead, so she just might kind of need to manage the rest of the group. D-. Up next will be Isla Dawn, the other member of the Unholy Union. Same grade, she's getting a D. We don't expect them to win the tag team titles back anytime soon. That leads us to Ivy Now of American Made, and she's gonna get a D as well. There doesn't seem to be a room for her to win any sort of championship. As the only female on a mostly male faction, she pretty much can only go for a singles championship, and she's not anywhere close to winning that. So yeah, things could change in the next 7 months, so we can give her an outside shot and just leave her with a D. Next, we've got Io Sky of Damage Control. We're giving her an A. She's got all the paths to winning a championship. She certainly seems to be up next for a shot at the tag team championships with her new partner, Kairi Sane, but she may not win those. To me, the timing's not quite right. And if Jade and Bianca are going to start going off the rails here a little bit, well, it doesn't make the most sense for Io and Kairi to be the ones to step into those championships. The usual wrestling logic of having a heel team beating the babyfaces would make more sense, but I guess if Jade or Bianca is turning on the other, I guess that makes one of them the heel, so maybe that goes out the window. I don't know. And even if Io doesn't win the tag team championships, she is already a prior women's champion, so she could certainly do that again. And right now, I have her down as winning the Royal Rumble, so we'll just have to wait and see about that. So A for Io. Up next is Kairi Sane, her partner. So she's getting a little bit lower of a grade, B+, in case they don't want to pull the trigger on Io and Kairi winning the tag titles, and maybe Io goes over and goes for a singles championship instead. So Kairi, still a really good chance. I definitely like Damage Control's chances to win the tag titles at some point before or at WrestleMania, but just not quite having an avenue for a singles title. She's getting dropped down just a little bit to that B+. Okay, next is Katana Chance, and she's currently out with a broken nose, but I think she'll just be fine very soon, and they'll at least be back in action. That said, they already had a tag team championship reign this year, so it's not likely they'll circle back around to them anytime soon. So can't give him a very good grade, just a D. Which of course leads us to her partner, Kayden Carter. D for her as well. Same reason. I wish those two luck. Hope they can win, but just a D. Okay, Kiana James is up next. We have not seen her for quite some time already. She did pick up a singles win, but she's been completely MIA. Hope to see her back soon, but can't anticipate anything unfortunately there, so she has to be an F. All right, Lyra Valkyria. Curious case here with Lyra. So if Liv holds on to the title and no one switches from SmackDown to Raw, that means Rhea's out of the picture, and if Becky doesn't come back, we're kind of at a loss for potential babyface winners, and Lyra got off to a really hot start, making it all the way to the finals of Queen of the Ring, but she's not been doing as much lately, so she's really kind of cooled off, so I can't give her much of a grade here, but she does have a chance. C- for Lyra. Next is Maxine Dupree of the Alpha Academy. I mean, she's done some decent things in the ring, but the only female in a 3-person group is not gonna give you a chance for a tag team title, and of course Ivy even turned on her as well, so she's not going to win a singles championship. So, unfortunately, straight up F for Maxine. All right, next we've got Natalya. Well, she just came back these last 2 weeks with a really hot start, but she'll probably just fall back into her old role of enhancing the younger talent on the roster, unfortunately. I wish you were used for more than that, but I don't see it. D+ for Natalya. Okay, it's time for mommy, Rhea Ripley. What can you say? It's an A. Not only is she going to win the championship at Bad Blood, but if she doesn't, well, she can certainly win it any other time because we want to see Rhea on the screen. We want to see her winning the championship. She's not had a babyface run since leaving the Judgment Day, winning a championship, so she'll just keep getting hotter and hotter, being the #1 female superstar on the roster on both sides. So she's got to win at some point, right? No later than WrestleMania. A. And we'll kind of go to the opposite of that. Scarlett of the Final Testament is next. She's gonna get an F because she doesn't even wrestle, but fun fact, she had 2 mixed tag matches in 2023 and won them both. So maybe if Karrion Kross focused on mixed tag matches, he'd be having a lot better time with his record in WWE. But for Scarlett, it's an F. No matches so far this year. Up next, Shayna Baszler. Well, Pure Fusion Collective's gotta come through at some point here, right? Some point. I think they're going to get a title here soon. Otherwise, it's just been a waste of adding Sonya to the group. They will finally win. I'm giving her a B. And speaking of Sonya, she's up next. She's going to get a C- because really highly likelihood is that it's Shayna and Zoe winning the tag championships, and I don't see Sonya taking home the Women's World Championship. So she has a chance if maybe she steps in for one of the other two. Maybe one of them turns on her, so it's a possibility. Unlikely, but I'll give her a C-. Up next is Zelina Vega, and I think she's not gonna get a run here. It would be fun if she did, but she's already had a title match against Liv. Earlier than that, she already had a title match against Rhea, so I don't see any more title matches coming up anytime soon, but we'll give her a D+. Okay, up next is Zoe Stark, and we will give her a B, same grade as Shayna, because I do think the Pure Fusion Collective is going to win the tag championship sooner than later, so B for her. And lastly, well, for some reason, yet again, the Wyatt Six are not included on the list at all, so Nikki Cross is nowhere to be found, so she/Abby the Witch will get a D+. Can't give her anything more than what I gave the other men. Plus, she's got to go for a singles championship. It's certainly possible the Wyatt Six could do something crazy and all of a sudden want to go for championships, and maybe she could do it. And she is a former champion after all, so it's not the wildest thing ever. So D+ for Nikki. And with that, let's flip on over to SmackDown, and we'll start with B-Fab. Well, she does never wrestle, so she's getting an F. I don't see her ever starting to wrestle, and she's certainly not going to win if she does. Okay, so that takes us right to Bayley, the prior WWE Women's Champion. I don't know if she really wants or cares to go for a title that much, so she may get a shot at Nia, but I don't think she's going to win that title back. Nonetheless, because she's one of the greats, she's Bayley, she gets a B- from me, and I wouldn't mind seeing her come out on top yet again. Okay, up next is Blair Davenport. Well, she doesn't have a lot going on, but she showed me something at that SmackDown where she beat Naomi. Pretty good. Doc got to see that firsthand, so not bad. But does she really have a chance here? Only because the division is so small, especially on SmackDown itself. We'll give her a D. That takes us to Candice LeRae. Well, she and Indy Hartwell have been completely MIA since getting destroyed by Jade and Bianca. But funny thing is that when you predict those two to break up sooner or later, that opens things up for another title run. So the SmackDown tag team title scene is barren right now, so maybe they can come right back into it and get that win. So C for Candice. Okay, Chelsea Green is up next, and she's kind of just fallen off the map as well in the tag team scene, but same as Candice, that could happen. Why not? And in fact, I think she and Piper are laying in wait even a little bit more, so they're kind of just waiting to jump back into it. So I would actually put those two ahead of Candice and Indy, so I'll give them a slightly better grade at a C+. Up next is Elektra Lopez. Well, Legado del Fantasma has no interest in giving her even a match, so F for Elektra. Hope to see her get a couple matches, but no chance. Okay, Indy Hartwell is next. Obviously, we'll give her a C, same grade as Candice. What one does, the other one's gonna do. Nothing going on singles-wise, so C for Indy. Up next is Michin. Well, we're gonna give her a C-. Unfortunately, I think we've already hit the peak of what Michin's going to do up until WrestleMania with this most recent run against Nia. So sadly, I think she's gonna fall back down the pecking order a little bit. I'm not saying she hasn't done great work, because she's really been pretty incredible. So she does kind of deserve all of the spotlight that she's been getting, but she'll probably just go back to losing some matches. So unfortunately, a C- for Michin. Up next is Naomi. Well, let's say just a week or so ago, didn't I predict that she was going to get traded to Raw? And then the very next day, sure enough, she got put into a match where if she or Bayley loses, they're gonna get shipped to Raw. So what do you think just might happen in that match here tonight? Interesting. Very, very interesting. Sometimes you're just too good. Sometimes you're just too good. So yeah, maybe it's not going to be part of a trade, but this will work equally as well. She's going to go to Raw, and well, if Liv wins, she's probably got a better chance than anybody on the babyface side, since that means Rhea's out of the equation and she's lost. So yeah, Naomi's getting a B. And of course, if she does win that tag match, she's probably still at the top of the pecking order to go against Nia and have a chance to win. So yeah, B. I like it. I like it a lot, actually. Up next, Piper Niven, same grade as Chelsea, C+. Those two, I think, are going to start getting back into some tag matches here pretty soon, so they've got a pretty good shot. Tegan Nox, well, I don't think we've seen her at all since she got drafted to SmackDown, so that's unfortunate for her, so I can't give her anything but an F. And lastly on the SmackDown roster, it is Tiffany Stratton. She's getting an A. I mean, she's missed Money in the Bank. She's certainly got the best chance to win out of anybody on both brands due to that briefcase. So she could pull that trigger any moment and win. And I mean, come on, she's gonna win. This storyline with Nia is gonna play out that she's gonna win. So A for Tiffany. Now, of course, we do have our free agents. No one's officially listed as a free agent, so what I did here, I went to the current superstars tab on WWE.com here, because we know we have some people out for various reasons, and we have reason to believe they just might be coming back, so we wanted to include all of them. So let's go with that list first. Alexa Bliss. How many times are we going to talk about Alexa coming back? Let's just make it happen. Obviously, it would be most fun if she came back as a part of the Wyatt Six. But that part would probably keep her out of title contention, whereas if she just came back with a normal Alexa persona toting Lily around again, well, she might just win something. But for now, it's all pretty uncertain. We'll just give her a D+. That leads us to Carmella. Unfortunately, it seems like the personal life is not going great for her health. So I think she's not going to be coming back anytime soon. I've got to give her an F and hope that things get better so that she can make a return, because she's always great to see in the ring. Up next, Charlotte Flair. She's injured. She tore the ACL, MCL, and meniscus last December, so you expect her to be out around a year's worth of time. That means she should come back around the time to possibly even show up and win the Royal Rumble. But nonetheless, you know, if Charlotte Flair's around, she's around that title scene, I'm gonna give her an A-, even though we haven't seen her for most of the year. A- for Charlotte. Next is Raquel Rodriguez. Well, it seems like we might be getting close to her finally returning, so let's very much hope that we do. And of course, she got placed right into the Elimination Chamber when she came back at the beginning of the year. So second time around, why not? Let's get her right back as a contender again. And then whether it's for a singles championship or for a tag team championship, it certainly is all on the table for Raquel. So she's getting a good grade, a B, even though we don't know when we're gonna see her. Up next is Shotzi. She also tore her ACL. That was in February, so we may or may not see her even before WrestleMania. A year's worth of time would be February, so that's cutting it awfully close to win something. But, you know, she could come back a little sooner than that and get something going, maybe get into a tag team championship scene, so we won't quite go with an F. We'll give her a D-. But there's not much to say about the last two people on the list here. Tamina, she's getting an F. I can't believe she's even still listed as a current superstar, but she is. Nonetheless, she hasn't wrestled in over 2 years now, I don't think, so F. And lastly, Valhalla. We're excited for her to have her second baby here pretty soon, but of course that means she's not going to be returning to the ring anytime soon, so A for life, but an F for winning a championship. So there you have it. That is every single superstar that we've gone through over these last 3 weeks. Let's see if any of these things come true, whether any of these grades were warranted, or if I was just way off, because you just never know. But let's at least hope Rio wins here at Bad Blood. Yeah, let's hope for that. All right, well, there you have it. I'm the SportsZu, and this has been the OK Not OK podcast.